Investigators continue to explore why a house exploded, killing one person, leaving 3 others missing.
After unveiling his plan for budget cuts yesterday, university leaders from across the state are now having a discussion with Governor Matt Bevin.
Looking outside at the moment, mostly cloudy skies. We'll hold on to that all day long, and also with chilly conditions. It goes up tomorrow, back down on Friday, and then a big swing of temperatures moving up on your weekend. I'll have that coming up next.
This is WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon from WKYT News. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. Local, state, and federal investigators are back at the scene this midday of a deadly house explosion in southern Kentucky.
It is an anxious scene. It happened at a home on M. Coomer Road off Highway 206. That's about 5 miles outside of Columbia. State police say one person is confirmed dead, but 3 others are still missing. WKYT's Phil Pendleton is in Adair County with the latest on the investigation, and that is our top story at noon. Phil?
Kentucky State Police are telling me that investigators are carefully going around the home looking for evidence and looking for those that are missing after the home exploded yesterday about 2:30 local time. We are told that one person was found just outside the home, but 3 others are missing. Police say at this point it is important not to speculate.
No, we can't get into the details of that yet. You know, we want to be really sure before we get into speculating. I mean, obviously there's a sense of whom we're looking for, but we're not going to get into any details.
Now, I have seen people going in and out of the scene. A Kentucky State Police Special Investigative Unit was seen going in. Also, a large backhoe was seen going in. Relatives are being kept away. Some people who say they are relatives of those that are missing are just outside. They say at this point they are fearing the worst. We're going to have a lot more coming up later today, but for now in Adair County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Yeah, long hours of waiting and watching there. Thank you, Phil. There is no word on what caused the explosion, but the deputy coroner says there is a gas well located on the property. The bodies of 2 people found dead inside an eastern Kentucky home that burned down yesterday have now been sent to Frankfort for autopsies. The fire destroyed the home on US 460 in the Farrells Creek community in Pike County. That's just outside of Elkhorn City. Family members say Ross and Dixie Dameron lived there. The deputy coroner says 2 bodies were eventually recovered from the home hours after the fire started. A scare this morning outside a Lexington Elementary School. Workers found a suspicious device that led to an evacuation and eventually to an arrest. WKYT's Sean Moody is at Tates Creek Elementary with more on what happened.
This caused a lot of concern out here. In fact, school leaders evacuated everyone from the elementary school and put them in the middle school gymnasium. About an hour and 15 minutes later, police took someone into custody. Police say a school administrator found that package around 9:15 near a dumpster outside the elementary school, near the cafeteria. Police say they responded because of markings and the location of that package. School officials said they followed their normal emergency protocols, evacuating the school and blocking off the entrance and exit so no one could come or go. Police investigated the package and said it was not a threat. They won't say what was inside the package, but they said it wasn't anything that could cause harm. They did say, however, that they believe the person who put it there did intend to cause alarm. They looked at surveillance video from a camera in the area and said they saw someone who was familiar to them. They said that person lives in the area and is not a student, employee, or parent. Police took that person into custody for terroristic threatening. The students are all back in their classrooms now. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Sean, thank you. Police have not released that person's name or age at this point.
Governor Matt Bevin laid out his proposed budget, and in it he called for spending cuts for higher education. This morning, UK President Eli Capitoluto and other university presidents held a conference call with the governor to talk about those proposed cuts. WKYT's Victor Puente is live on the UK campus now with more on how that conversation played out. Victor?
A UK spokesperson told us that was a private call between President Eli Capitoluto, other university presidents, and the governor. Yesterday, Governor Matt Bevin released his budget plan for the next 2 years. It included budget cuts for almost all state agencies, including money going to state universities. The governor says those cuts are needed to balance the budget without borrowing more money. That would mean an immediate 4.5% cut for the rest of the fiscal year. Then in July, a 9% cut would go into place through 2018. After that, the governor says he wants to implement performance-based funding for universities. That means the funding provided to state universities from the general fund will be distributed based on performance criteria. The governor says that criteria will be developed in collaboration with university leadership. UK spokesperson Jay Blanton says they'll be releasing more information about the topics discussed during that call later today. While money to universities could be cut, money going directly to students may not be. That budget lists student financial aid as one of the items that is exempt from any reductions. Live in Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The governor's budget also changes the way lottery proceeds are distributed. It would make it so that 100% of the money the state earns from the Kentucky Lottery would be used for scholarships. Well, it's a calm but chilly day in the Bluegrass with temperatures remaining in the 30s. But there's another chance for at least a little snow in the forecast. WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is live in our First Alert Weather Center now with a look ahead. Micah.
Yeah, we could see a couple of flurries the rest of the afternoon, but don't expect anything else. I mean, there's a small chance of that happening. Temperatures are there around freezing at this moment. We'll go through the rest of the afternoon off into the evening. Yeah, it doesn't really budge that much. I mean, 33 degrees there for a high. That's about it. Maybe a degree or two the rest of the afternoon and off into the evening. I will tell you this, we're looking ahead and the extreme weather is pretty much over, but we get a big temperature bounce this weekend. Before the weekend, we could have a few flakes there on Thursday night into Friday morning. What are we going to be looking at with that? And also, how high are we getting there for the weekend? I think you'll really like the weekend forecast, and it's coming up in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, because it looks warm. We do. We'll see that very shortly. The Big Blue Nation is rolling up its sleeves to beat the Gators before they meet on the hardwood next month. 2 days into the competition, Kentucky has jumped in front of Florida in the annual Big Blue Slam Blood Drive competition. Donors will receive a limited edition T-shirt and a chance to win a pair of tickets to the second and third rounds of the NCAA men's basketball tournament at the Yum Center in Louisville. That's on March 24th and 26th. Tomorrow from noon until 7, donors can give blood at Rupp Arena with a chance to take some shots on the court. And construction will begin today on the historic Singing Bridge in downtown Frankfort. That bridge has been down to one lane since last summer because of load limits. The State Transportation Department says crews will be installing new steel on the bridge. They'll have to close the bridge at some point as part of the construction. That's expected to last through May. Always fun to hear that bridge. It really does make that distinct sound. Well, a new grocery store is up and running next to UK's campus with a focus on organic and local foods.
Lucky's Market celebrates its grand opening not with the traditional ribbon cutting, rather a bacon cutting. The store prides itself with curing and smoking its own bacon. The manager says that customers shouldn't be afraid of high prices when they hear the phrase organic foods.
We want those type of foods, organic foods, all natural foods, high quality foods. We want those accessible to everybody, not only preparation, but the pricing, the ability to purchase those for everyone.
Now, during today's grand opening, Lucky's Market made 2 donations to local charities, Food Chain and Greenhouse 17.
Well, presidential candidate Donald Trump says he is skipping the final Republican debate ahead of next week's Iowa caucuses. We'll have more on what could be some last-minute drama coming up on Kentucky's #1 Midday News.
Also ahead, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are teaming up once again to honor a comedic legend at this weekend's SAG Awards. Find out who will receive the Lifetime Achievement Award coming up on WKYT News at noon.
Millions of dollars in damage, hundreds of boats in need of repair, all thanks to last week's snowstorm. How will the damage affect dock owners and the future of Lake Cumberland? Trouble at the Lake, Thursday at 6 on WKYT. Get weather plus traffic with a WKYT weather app. Have the Defender Radar Network in the palm of your hand while checking your driving conditions for your commute on the same screen. Weather plus traffic on the WKYT weather app.
I chose Audibel.
I chose Audibel.
I chose Audibel for my hearing aid.
You should choose Audibel as well. For a free hearing evaluation, call Audibel today.
Helping you hear well, Audibel. After you're injured at work, a lot of times the insurance company will attempt to call you, take statements. Don't speak to them until you speak with an experienced workers' compensation attorney.
The insurance company will attempt to settle your case for pennies on the dollar. Before you talk to the insurance company, call us first.
Our job is to make sure you get all the money you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast. 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
Do-it-yourself stores may be fine for garden hoses and 2x4s, but appliances? Those guys may know these washers, but P-Rats knows these washers, and ranges, and refrigerators, and more. And after 4 years of being rated the best place to buy appliances in Central Kentucky, there's nowhere else in the Bluegrass better suited to help find your perfect kitchen. So for wood screws and wheelbarrows, go ahead, do it yourself, but for the right appliances at the right price. Nobody beats P-Rats.
Every moment in life is precious, and you never know what's going to happen next. When the unexpected happens, like getting hurt in a car wreck, it can be devastating. But we're here to help. I'm attorney Daryl Isaacs, the Hammer. If you've been injured in a car wreck, call Isaacs & Isaacs so my firm can help you get what you deserve for your car repairs, medical bills, and your pain and suffering.
Calling the Hammer is a way to go down to 553-0000.
I chose Audibel.
I chose Audibel.
I chose Audibel for my hearing aid.
Call Audibel today for a free hearing evaluation. Audibel, helping Kentuckians hear well since 1962.
Welcome back to WKYT News at noon. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul is in tomorrow night's debate, but 5 days to go before the Ohio caucuses, and once again Donald Trump is throwing out the standard playbook in his bid to win the GOP nomination.
Iowa caucuses, right. Weijia Jiang has that story and the latest on the Democratic side from Des Moines.
Donald Trump is living up to his anti-establishment label and skipping Thursday night's Republican debate.
Let them have their debate, and let's see how they do with the ratings.
The brash businessman is pulling out because Fox News refuses to replace Megyn Kelly as the debate moderator. The network shot back, saying capitulating to politicians' ultimatums about a debate moderator violates all journalistic standards.
God bless the great state of Iowa.
Senator Ted Cruz, Trump's closest rival in Iowa, accused Donald of dodging him.
Apparently, Megyn Kelly is really scary.
Thank you! Over on the Democratic side, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders is surging.
What a turnout!
Tuesday night, he had more than 14,000 people show up at a rally in nearby Minnesota.
People are sick and tired of establishment politics and establishment economics.
But Hillary Clinton says establishment is just another way of saying she can get things done.
I'm not just shouting slogans, I'm not just engaging in rhetoric, because I don't think you can get what we need done in this election or in the presidency unless you level with people.
Clinton is trailing Sanders in the latest Iowa poll released Wednesday. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Des Moines, Iowa.
And Clinton is bringing in some outside help in her bid to try to regain momentum before Monday night's caucus. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio will try to win over liberals in Iowa, who right now in polling are leaning toward Sanders. Meanwhile, MSNBC and the New Hampshire Union leader are teaming up to host a newly scheduled Democratic debate. It would be moderated by Rachel Maddow and Chuck Todd on February 4th, 5 days before the New Hampshire primary. Martin O'Malley has already agreed to take part. Hillary Clinton's campaign says she will too if the other candidates agree. Sanders' campaign has not said yes or no. The Democratic National Committee, which has been criticized for scheduling only 6 sanctioned primary debates, has yet to give its approval for that event. Comedian Carol Burnett will be honored by the Screen Actors Guild this weekend.
Burnett is set to receive the Guild's Lifetime Achievement Award for her vast career and humanitarian accomplishments. The award will be presented by Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, who both credit Burnett as a major influence. Over her vast career, Burnett has 6 Emmy Awards, 5 Golden Globes, a Kennedy Center honor, and a Presidential Medal of Freedom. The SAG Awards will air live this Saturday at 8 o'clock on TBS.
Coming up, we'll take you to Corbin, where a group of people are handing out blankets, scarves, and coats to people who don't have homes.
We have the chilly temperatures outside right around freezing. We go up tomorrow, back down on Friday. But what do we do for the weekend? I'll have that in your forecast coming up next.
Have something that needs investigating? Email us or call the WKYT Investigates tip line.
Negotiating an injury settlement with an insurance company directly without an attorney may seem like a good idea at first. After all, you get the whole pie. But studies by the insurance industry itself found that settlements are much larger when the injured person is represented by an attorney. Hi, I'm Kevin Renfro of the Becker Law Office. Most importantly, even after the attorney's fee is paid, you still get more than settling by yourself. Don't go it alone. Serious, experienced results. Call the Becker Law Office. Just dial 3.
What do these women have in common? They are the staff of Ageless Medical Weight Loss. They've lost a combined 1,300 pounds. The team at Ageless will understand your struggles and celebrate your victories. For a medically supervised, affordable weight loss solution, call Ageless today for a free consultation.
Mohawk's new wear-dated nylon embrace carpet is soft, tough, and beautiful. And now affordable at 30% off. Hurry! These prices won't last long. Kevin's Carpets in Lexington and Georgetown. Well, you'd have to be crazy to buy flooring anyplace else.
We're sorry this happened to you, and hopefully this check will make things a lot easier. It'll cover your medical bills, auto repair, and we've even given you an allowance to help cover your expenses while your car's getting worked on. All you need to do is sign right here, and we'll take care of everything else.
Thank you so much.
A smiling cheater is still a cheater. Come on now, you know what to do. Call 800-800-4600.
Are you happy with your bathroom? I wasn't. But for years, I didn't do anything about it. Like many people, I thought I didn't have the money until I learned about the brilliant solution from Bathfitter. Bathfitter puts a new bathtub right over your old one. Isn't that amazing? Bathfitter will measure and make you a new custom bathtub that they install right over your existing one with beautiful matching walls. That means you don't have to rip out your old tub, so there's no demolition or ridiculous costs. And they do it all in just one day. That's my favorite part. Plus, you get to choose everything. Book a free consultation and find out for yourself. Here's a before and after photo. This is a gorgeous acrylic tub that fit right over the old one. And only Bathfitter has seamless walls, which guarantee a watertight fit. When you change your tub, you change your bathroom, and that can change your life. I know because I did it. Call today or learn more at bathfitternow.com.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on Mix 94.5. Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Well, here come the cloudy skies sticking around once again for today. It's not the best looking day. You may get a few peaks of some sunshine here and there, but for the most part, this is going to be your look, just a gray look. Is there a possibility of a couple of flurries? Yeah, there's a possibility of that. But even that's not going to harm you whatsoever. So the winds out of the north, out of the northwest, cloudy skies, that cold air already in place. There's no way that we're actually going to get well above freezing. We'll be 34, 35 in some spots, but most of us maybe a degree or two more, and that's about it. So what you feel outside, being at freezing, is basically what you're going to feel the rest of the day. We go off into the evening if you're heading out to eat. Things don't look all that bad. It's pretty calm, pretty quiet, and the temperatures will basically feel like they do right now. Off into the night and into tomorrow morning, kids going out to school. 24 degrees there at the bus stop. So it'll be a chilly day, but look at this. I mean, it ramps up big time. You finally get some sunshine, finally get those winds coming in from the south. It's going to help us out, and it always does during the winter. Then we go up tomorrow, drop it back down on Friday because we have a few flakes, which will be no issues out of that one there on Friday morning, Thursday night and Friday morning. And then that's what we really like to focus on. Extremely nice temperatures for the weekend. Both Saturday and Sunday will feature temperatures in the low to mid 50s, some even upper 50s, right? Could we be seeing a 60-degree reading in the forecast? Yes, it's after that, off into Monday and Tuesday. But, God, your weekend just looks phenomenal. A lot of sunshine, too, so it's looking fantastic. We have talked about this frozen fog the past 3, maybe 4 days. And there's the look down in Casey County. It's beautiful, but it's just not fun to drive through. Joyce Godby sent this one in down in Casey County. Really good picture. Remember, this is Facebook pictures of the day. How beautiful is that? I'm going to step out of the way. It's a better looking picture than I am. I promise you that. From our home in Russell Springs, this is Edna Smith. Beautiful shot. I've shown probably 20 pictures today, and I still have plenty more to go through my Facebook and Twitter page. So don't forget Continue to post them. I'm going to show them tomorrow morning when I get back in here early in the morning. Let's talk about your 7-day forecast real quick. We're at 33 degrees today, and it's pretty chilly, obviously. It's going to stay that way. Once we get into Thursday, we jump up, right? This is a roller coaster ride until we hit the weekend. So Thursday, tomorrow, 41. It actually feels quite nice, and it'll look pretty good. Then we hit Friday. It drops it back down because Thursday night and Friday morning, when most of us are asleep, here comes a weak system diving southbound. That'll give us the opportunity to see some more flakes. But these flakes are going to be totally different than what we experienced just about, 4 or 5 days ago. Big difference, okay? So this time around, we're talking a small chance and no accumulation expected. Then we hit Saturday and Sunday. Guys, there's a system off toward our west during that time, and that is just pulling. I mean, big-time winds pulling in that warmer air to the south of us. We'll be at 52 there Saturday, 58 on Sunday, 60s to start off next week. And that's 4 consecutive days. You don't usually do that late January, early November. So it's been up and down the past few months, but you know what? We're getting there.
There you go.
Yeah,
all right,
up and down, up and down.
Hang on for the ride, you know?
Right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. We're coming back in just a moment on WKYT. A top-notch basketball matchup in Lexington. That's becoming a normal occurrence these days.
And who needs to come up big for the Cats tonight? Dave Baker's next with sports.
And checking stocks as we head into afternoon trading. Major market indicators are mixed. The Dow is up.
And 1 and 2.
Hey, cats and kittens. Tonight, dig this.
When I was in the jazz choir, I sang God Bless the Child.
Well, God bless the children that had to listen to that.
A new Two Broke Girls that's crazy.
Scooby-Doo-bop-bop! Do that again, and I'm gonna squiddle it up and bop you in the head.
Then, are you hungry for a Mike and Molly thrill ride?
We're straddling train tracks. You taste the danger?
A new Mike and Molly.
I'm a loose cannon.
Right after a new Two Broke Girls CBS tonight.
Up to now, affording a beautiful smile has been, well, sketchy. So picture this. Doctors Durbin, Walks, and Garner are offering an unheard of offer. No down payment and only $175 for 24 months on orthodontic treatment. It's their way of saying thank you. Clear Choice Orthodontics is an elite provider of Invisalign. Offers digital imaging, clear porcelains, and accepts most insurance. Affordable orthodontic treatment. Now that's something to smile about. Learn more at clearchoicesmile.com.
In Kentucky, elder abuse is on the rise. Most nursing home residents say nothing in fear of retaliation. Watch for signs, bruises, scratches, bed sores, and cues in body language. If you suspect nursing home abuse, you need to seek justice. Call Hughes & Coleman, 800-800-4600, 800-800-4600, before it's too late.
What does your insurance actually do when it's not doing insurance? What if you could get help with more often? And you could also plan amazing trips. Save on event tickets or hotel rooms. Even get rescued roadside. You can when you're a member and your insurance is AAA. Insurance that's not just insurance.
He's been turned down. Commence operation.
Hey!
You need a car.
I got turned down for credit.
Turned down for what?
For credit.
Sorry, earwax. Turned down for what?
Credit!
Drive time won't turn you down, regardless of credit.
Cool.
Save yourself. Get approved at Drive Time First. Call, click, or visit. Eyeglass World salutes Angie, who not only just rebooked a canceled flight, but also finagled a first-class ticket for the price of coach. Not surprisingly, Angie bought her glasses at Eyeglass World, where she gets the help she needs and her glasses the very same day, all for an incredibly low price. 2 pairs for just $78. Eyeglass World. See yourself smile. See yourself save.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. Follow WKYT on Twitter.
Cats got some much-needed momentum back last week with 2 wins in 48 hours, but they can't have the mindset that the winning is just going to automatically continue. Missouri comes to town having won just 1 game in 6 SEC outings, but the Tigers have played well, and in this year, in this league, and with this Kentucky team, there's little margin for error. That's why you always worry about players overlooking an opponent, and that's why one vet in particular will be big for the Cats.
Obviously, it's a challenge with younger players. The consistency of not worrying who your opponent is, but just preparing to play your best. So we lean on our veteran players to bring it every night. I think Tyler's the guy who brings it every night and plays with a sense of urgency. And now just getting our freshmen to catch up to speed, that it doesn't matter who you play. That with what we wear across our chest in Kentucky, everybody's going to bring their best.
And the Cats will have to answer that challenge tonight as they go to Rupp Arena for a late-night tip-off. It's 9 o'clock on the SEC Network versus Missouri. Big resurgence in boys basketball here in the city. Virtually every team ranked in the state polls, and last night a top 10 showdown. 3rd-ranked Dunbar and Lafayette ranked 8th in the latest AP poll over at the Dog Pound, but this one got away from the visitors sooner than they would have liked. Dogs go inside to big Dontel Brown. Powers it in off the glass. He's fouled. And gets the and one off the miss. How about Jordan Lewis rebounds? One of his 9 assists, the 30-foot pass to Tavion Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth with 25, Dogs by 6. Lafayette's Ross Jenkins held to what has to be a season-low 3. His only basket coming right there to end the quarter. Darius Williams. Oh, boy, is that a pretty jumper. 15 for Williams. Dunbar in a breeze. This one everybody thought was going to be tight. 73-42. And finally, Peyton Manning isn't saying that Super Bowl 50 is his grand finale. He's just saying it could be. Cameras caught the exchange between Manning and Bill Belichick after Denver's win over the Patriots in the AFC Championship game on Sunday. When they embraced, Manning told Belichick, hey, listen, this might be my last rodeo, so it sure has been a pleasure. Be interesting to see if that happens. By no means is this our last rodeo. We've got a lot more coming up throughout the day, including more of our preview of the Cats and the Tigers. That's coming up throughout the afternoon. But, guys, for now, that's a look at sports on this Wednesday.
Okay, Dave. Thank you so much.
And there's more to come in our next half hour of WKYT News at noon.
A new 15-point plan to help the city of Flint, Michigan, deal with its water crisis.
I'm Phil Pendleton in Adair County at 12:30. The latest after a home exploded, killing 1 person, leaving 3 others missing.
Tonight's Powerball jackpot is $75 million, and Friday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $56 million.